Welcome to Body by Design. I'm your host, Blue Driver, a women's strength training and metabolism coach. I went from years suffering hormone imbalances, looking soft and bloated, to symptom-free and building muscle for a toned athletic physique. Since then, I've made it my mission to empower women to take control of their own health, hormones and body composition. So grab a cup of coffee and let's build your body by design. Welcome back to the Body by Design podcast. And today I have Lisa with me. Lisa's just been with me for the last 6 months. And I wanted to go through her story, a lot of hormone issues with Lisa, which I'll get her to talk about, and where she is now. So welcome, Lisa. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
So start with where you were, because you had a lot of hormone issues. You lived a very colourful life prior.
Yeah. Yes.
And what led you to coming?
It was when I knew you had endometriosis, because I've had that, and PCOS and the severe bloating. Even though I was going to the gym, I was just, you know what I mean? The bloating was really bad. Yeah, that's the thing that made me reach out and go, okay, maybe this person who's also been through it and she doesn't look bloated at the moment. I thought, yeah, that's really what made me, it was trying to get that bloating under control.
And for those who don't know, I suffered with endometriosis, I think, from the day I started my periods, and it was kind of like, oh, well, you know, that's your lot. I think I had like 5 different laparoscopies to try and get rid of it. Never worked. And I don't suffer with it anymore, which is awesome. And you are certainly well underway to being there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you started with us, bloating, endometriosis, did you have constipation? Is that one of them?
No, not really, but just like, you know, just always just tummy issues, you know, just I think from just uncomfortable from the bloating.
And you were also detoxing from vapes when you came to me as well. So your body was under a lot of stress, but one of the things I've admired about you is you've just gotten on and done the job. You're very consistent, and that's when I see people really get results. So as I said, you were training, and obviously once I watched your videos and everything, I can see that you trained before. We did some form, tidy up and stuff with you, but your body has changed so much in this time in comparison to before, even though you were training.
Yeah. I think it's because doing the 2 sets as well, and like I was training before, but I was doing 3 sets. I wasn't really training to failure, even though I thought I was. And I was more focused on the form. And I just think just not having the bloating, I was more comfortable. I could train better because I wasn't feeling like shit.
We increased your calories as well when you came in, didn't we?
Yeah.
When you first, I've got your charts open here. Let me see where you're at now. So you're on nearly 2,100 calories now. We started you a little bit lower, and you've been able to come up. But in the time that you've been with me, I've got it all written down here. You've lost 3 kilos, which to some doesn't sound like a lot, but she's actually lost a total of 46 centimeters. There's 5 basic measurements that I take, and she's lost a total of 46 centimeters. And to give you an idea of the bloating, Lisa's waist lost 18 centimeters. You went from 90 centimeters down to 72.
Yeah.
In your waist. So 90 is quite a big measurement because you're not big all over. 90 is actually huge. So that's an indication of that bloating before you started going, yep, this works.
I think it was probably, well, I started feeling good within the first month, but like the really noticeable change probably has been about June, July, where I feel my clothes fit me better. Like I never wanted to wear shorter shirts because my tummy was always bloated. I just, like now I can just, you know, and wear, I'm not restricting what I wear because I've got this continual bloating. So probably maybe, June, July, I felt like more comfortable in myself.
When did you start? Let me see.
I started in May.
May.
Yeah.
So in the first month, you definitely started to feel better, and it was within like 2 or 3 months. You're like, fitting into clothes better, feeling better.
Yeah.
I think it was your last check-in that we did. You mentioned a client commented to you about what you look like.
Yeah. So that's when, like a couple of people at the gym have said, like you're looking good and stuff like that. And I think, okay, that's just a byproduct, because my thing was I just want to feel good. Okay, everyone wants to look good, but I wanted to just feel good. So now I'm like, okay, I'm kind of like happy because I'm feeling good and looking better.
Yeah.
So
And you
it's just
spent all that time in the gym previously without changes, and all you did
no,
was focus on your nutrition and overall health. Obviously, we had some targeted supplementation for you to help combat the, effects of endometriosis. And look what's happening, that body change. Where clients are saying, I think it was something like you were blow drying a hair. So the bicep was up.
oh
Yeah. And she's
yeah,
gone,
so,
oh, you can really tell you train. So you've
yeah,
gone from training all the time and not really getting results to feeling good. And like you say, it's a byproduct, but when your body functions better. So you actually gained 4 kilos of muscle mass and lost 8% body fat.
yeah,
And that's where that physique look comes in. So yeah, you've had all of that feeling better. And like you say, the byproduct of that is you started to build muscle and lose body fat, because we didn't change calories. We changed it once in the beginning. I think we upped you by about 100 or 200 in the early stages. And then you have just sat at the same calories.
yeah. And just like when we were saying just before, like it's been a change, but I'm a bit like shocked how I didn't think I'd get these results in this time. Like I thought it would take longer.
You've been a model client, so yes, this works. I also want to say that you do the work. You've submitted your gym videos, you take on the feedback, you've done your meal planning in advance. You like consistency in your meals. It's one thing I see time and time again. Those who kind of like to stick to the same thing, even if it's just for a week, like just eat the same thing for a week, get better results. Our bodies like that consistency, and you've got the same calories going in, the same nutrients going in, and then the following week you change plan. So you've done the hard work of planning in advance, doing your meal prep, staying consistent. So it's your hard work that's paid off as well.
Yeah, but I also think too, when you felt like shit for most of your life, when the meal plan works, I don't really want to change, because I don't want to, you know what I mean? I don't want to introduce fancy, you know what I mean? I'm okay, because as long as that food makes me feel good, that's, and it tastes fine, then I'd rather that than be, do you know what I mean? Like that to me is more valuable than having a different.
How have you found the food though? Like types of foods?
I love it. I love those recipes. They're so good and so simple, and so you can just use your slow cooker. Like I just like you make it in advance, it's done, not stuffing around, and I think it's actually cheaper living this way.
I'd say that you get a lot less wastage because you know exactly what you're eating, exactly how much you need to shop for to make it. You eat it, you're done.
And because I'm trying to get this bloody house deposit, like I'm like, yeah, definitely. You've got more control over what you spend. It's just, and then the thing is, I don't need to look at the recipe anymore. I know what goes in. It's done. It's simple.
And do you feel restricted, like with types of foods and stuff that, because obviously there's parameters in which we operate within, there are some things that we go, we'll try and avoid these.
Yeah, but I don't like that. Like, I kind of like, I've always liked, I've never been a big, like, oh, let's go to KFC kind of person. So I don't feel like, oh, wow. I feel like it's kind of just normal food.
And you're eating like potatoes and butter and juice and honey. And you're just looking at some of the things that you've got in your meal plan, and chocolate, and there's all sorts of awesome things in there that you don't ever have to feel like you're not eating like tasty food.
Yeah, I don't feel I'm on a diet. Like I definitely don't, probably, who knows, like, I know before I even did any of this gym and whatever, it's probably hard. I'm probably eating more, not double, but a lot more than what I used to eat. And that was just because of my lifestyle choices. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm eating a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, 2,100 calories is a good amount of calories. And you're not a tall lady either. So, the amount of calories that you're eating is a good amount of calories for someone like you. And I love the way you've really tuned into your body. And I think the way we do this and we plan in advance and we know what's in there, you were having a little bit of the bloating's coming back in the afternoon, just a little bit of it. And we were like, so we were able to test and measure a couple of things in there to go, yep, that's what it is that's aggravating me. And now you know to be more careful with that and more strategic. So you've been able to identify what makes you feel good as well by doing it this way.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's one thing now. Yeah, I totally agree. Like that's what before I was saying with the food with change. I don't want to change it because once now I feel just changing that with the banana, and I'm like, I'm not having that bloating in the afternoon. So I feel okay. I've eliminated anything that could possibly give me any aggravation.
Yeah. And yet you still eat good, tasty food. It's not like,
Oh,
cut out all dairy, cut out all wheat. It's none of those types of restrictions, but it's just about pinpointing those things that really make you feel good, because at the end of the day, I think that's what we all just want to feel better. I think
and especially getting older, like, I need, like I definitely need to feel good because I've still got, a small child to raise, and that's probably part of it too. I can't really afford to. I need to have energy,
Yeah.
I'm not, where most people are settling down, I've still got to,
How old are you? Your son's 5, isn't he?
5, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that 5, 6 age, they're very, boys in particular, I remember my son, very, very active compared to my daughter at that age. So they keep you on your toes, and there's nothing worse than having to drag yourself through that. And yet now you've got energy for the gym, you've got energy to work, you've got energy for him, and you just feel good.
Yeah, so all of those things, it's just you're just a better person when you feel better. You're just all round.
Yeah, you're
mentally
not as cranky.
Yeah, and not as tired, and yeah.
How do you think your endometriosis, how would you describe your endometriosis symptoms now?
Well, I think it's a lot better because, like, even with the taking the progesterone drops, like, I'm not getting that. Like a week before my period, before I would be like nearly going, it's a struggle to work, like, because I'd be that bloated, and I'd just be crampy, and it's just hard. Whereas now, like, sometimes I get my periods and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even have the lead up.
That's amazing. Going from endometriosis to, oh shit, they've turned up.
And because of the polycystic ovaries as well. And then, like, I've done IVF, I've been overstimulated, every hormonal, and then obviously had another baby at 42. Like, it's been a hormonal
Right. It's a real roller coaster that you've been on, particularly when you talk about things like IVF, and I mean, a necessary thing if you can't have children in the time. It does make you wonder if you knew about this beforehand. Do you think you would have needed IVF?
Yeah, I know. Well, I think that too, because I'm like, like, I mean, it's just crazy then to get pregnant 10 years later, like, bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I have another lady that couldn't, she had PCOS, endometriosis. They didn't think they'd ever have another baby, and she's due for another baby in the next couple of months, which is amazing as well. So she felt pregnant as well afterwards.
Yeah, like, I suppose I wish I knew. I mean, I wasn't in the state of the getting fit state probably back then, but it just makes you think when you go to the doctor. And the only other thing that they told me with this is to go on the pill for the endometriosis. There's no other thing recommended for them to do.
When it's
and that's
very much an estrogen dominant driven condition, and nutrition and lifestyle is what drives estrogen dominance.
So that's where I suppose I'm just grateful that I found this, because I'm like, you want to try and get better, feel better and all that, but it just seems, I was just, as I said, that's the main thing that made me, like, reach out and say, can you help me, kind of thing.
And obviously you're exciting. You're getting yourself ready to purchase a house. So you've done 6 months with me and you've had amazing results, and you're getting ready to go alone. How well equipped do you feel to do that?
I feel like, I mean, I feel very, very equipped, but I'm going to miss it. Do you know what I mean? Because it's, my life is boring. No, because I'm getting so much out of it and feeling better all the time.
I love having a coach. When you find a coach that you click with, and I feel like that we
Yes.
click.
So I'm gonna miss that and the check-ins and all that. But I feel like, oh, I'm not gonna fall off the bandwagon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what to
It's
do. I
I
believe
know
in
what to
you.
do. Thank you. And this is just what I've got to do for now.
Mm.
But what I've learned and how I live my life, I'm still gonna live it like that.
Mm.
I'm not gonna
It's life changing, and it becomes,
just a habit then.
it's a lifestyle and a habit. And when you
Yeah.
kind of, like, I think back to, like last Christmas, there was a few weeks there where, I wasn't tracking and eating all the different foods and blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of it, I was just like, please, can we just get back to normality? I just want to, like, you
Yeah.
gravitate back towards it.
Yes. Yeah. Like I love my routine. Like that's what keeps me sane to do everything I can do. If I don't have this, I know when I have to go and away for the weekend sometimes and stuff like that. Like I'm craving to get back for my normal routine.
But you know how to kind of stay fairly on track. Not, it doesn't have to be to the T, but when you go away for the weekend, you know what choices to make, and you know what's going to maintain and fuel your body, and you know what's going to make you feel well, even though it's not within your norm of prepped food.
Yeah, exactly. It's just I suppose because I've got those good results, I like keeping it like this because I know if I keep doing this, I'm going to get back more results.
Yeah.
And that's motivating. Do you know what I mean? That's more where I'm coming from. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things I want people to understand is I love working with you, and I wish you were staying as well, but this is something that you need to do. But my intent as a coach is always to educate women to walk away from this being empowered to stay in control of their health and their physique, and not feel like they're on some sort of roller coaster they've got no control over. And I look at you and I go, I've done my job. I'm sad that you're going. And I think we could do more, but I feel like you can go and you know what you're doing. And it's like, my job is done. I've educated you and I've passed this on, and it's a forever tool for you. It's not, here's a meal plan, here's a program, and then when you leave, it all falls apart.
No, 100%. You've definitely educated. Even down to the thing like that cortisol cocktail. I never heard of that.
Just the adrenal cocktail.
Adrenal cocktail, whatever it's called. Like, for your cortisol and all that. And just, so many different things. The magnesium, I feel I understand why I take that.
There it is. There. You understand why. And if you understand the why, you know when you should and shouldn't do.
Yeah, and I'm like, shit, sometimes when I go to bed, I'm like, oh, I haven't had my magnesium, so I get up because I'm like, I want to sleep better. Do you know what I mean? So not that I'm in fear, I haven't done it, but I know those things are giving me results. So that's, you've definitely done your job. Definitely. With the aspirin, even this lady at the gym, and I was telling her, and I said, oh, did you know if you take aspirin with vitamin K and reduce the inflammation? She's like, no. I said, well, neither did I, but it does. Definitely. And I have to understand why I'm doing something, because I'm a pretty loose cannon. That is definitely, if I understand that this is working, I will do it.
And I think it equips you that if something crops up that's out of the ordinary, it gives you the skill to be able to problem solve it too, if you understand the whys and the foundations of things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I just like to, even small things, like one, it's like when you did with the cinnamon, right? That cinnamon.
Oh, yeah, the organic cinnamon, yeah.
And when you said, okay, if you're putting something in your body, like, I put cinnamon on that, breakfast crumble thing. I'm like, well, if I'm having high amounts of that, well, I want it to be organic. I want it to be that. I thought that makes just common sense now.
Yeah. There's a lot of things out there that they go, oh, in small doses, it's not harmful, but it's in this product and it's in this product and it's in this product and this. And when you add all of them up, and then you're having them on the daily, regular, multiple times a day, because it comes from multiple products, and we wonder why our bodies don't function well. So that's one of the, organic.
When you said, you can get a toxic buildup, I'm like, well, I actually think that's true. That's why people
see it time and time again, just by simply swapping products and removing the preservatives and additives and all that sort of stuff, the change that it has in people.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Yeah, like I mean, even though I'm leaving, which is, you know, shit and whatever, but at least I like your live videos. I like just those things you write. You know what I mean? Like, because it makes sense.
I'll keep you in mind when I'm doing my stories. I
Oh,
throw you
thanks.
some
Love.
things
But,
every
you know,
now and
like
then.
I said, that Instagram, that's free. But yeah, like they're the things that you just go that, you know, yeah, that does make sense. But when you don't think of that, when you say joining up to do this kind of thing, you don't think of those small things, I reckon, that
Yeah.
then those small things are the big things that can either make or break, you know?
It's the everyday, normal type things that actually make the biggest results. I get people who come in and like, oh, well, what about BCAs and what about it's like stepping over, but yet they don't track their food or they're not eating regularly. And it's like,
Yeah.
or they're not eating before they go and train. And it's like you're really stepping over $100 bills to go pick up the penny of that supplement. Like supplements are the last thing. It's those everyday habits
Yeah.
and foundations that really make the biggest difference.
Because even you know, after the gym, there's some days I'm like, you know what? Last thing I feel like doing is those friggin' steps. But if I get on the treadmill for just 20 minutes every day, then it adds up to, you know, at the end of the week, that's like, you know, so that's where I go. I don't let the small, do you know what I mean? I just try every day to do everything just
We
20
don't
minutes.
always enjoy everything that we have to do. Fucking
Yeah,
carrot
no,
salad, mate. Fucking carrot
fucking carrot.
salad.
But it's like, you know what? It's just, it's not going to kill you. And then, yeah, like it just, then you just do it.
You've got to do the hard things as well as the good things. Yes, there's lots of yummy food, and yes, you get great results, but you've still got to do the hard things too. I don't
Yeah,
like eating my carrot salad every day, but I know it's good for me. You don't
yeah.
necessarily want to get on the treadmill after a hard workout and do your steps, but you know it's good for you and you know
And
it
I know it's
produces the
20
results.
minutes. I'm already there. I'm already there. And
Yeah.
then now I get pissed off if I go, shit, you know, that's a couple of times I don't want to be running late for work. So, you know what I mean? Because if I miss that a couple of days, then I look at the overall thing of the week and that's 40 minutes. But if I just stay on top of it, then I'm like, okay, I've had a good week. So I think for me, I think back when I'm on a Sunday and go, I've had a good week because I've done everything right.
Yeah.
And then that makes me feel good for the next week. But if I missed, say, 3 times I didn't walk or whatever, then I feel like, oh shit. You know what I mean? I can be
And
hard on
this is
myself.
where I say, like, you're equipped. If things aren't going in the direction that you want it to go, like you're feeling a bit tired or a bit run down, or, maybe you're gaining some weight or whatever, you've got the skills to go, well, did I do everything I needed to do this?
Yeah.
And have a look at it and go, well, this is where the areas that I could improve before I jump to a supplement, or this isn't working or whatever. What am I doing in my foundations, in the basics that I'm really not doing that well? And we all go through moments like that. We all have,
Yeah.
I have moments where, I haven't eaten my carrot salad 4 times that week, and I get to the following week and I'm just like, I feel like a bit sluggish in the digestion. Have you been eating your carrot salad regularly? No, back to it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I suppose that's where I will miss having a coach with the check-in, because I was like, I don't want to be a loser and then check in and not have any results. Do you know what I mean? There's that about it too. I'm like, I don't want to waste my time and your time. So I was like, you kind of like that accountability I will miss. You know what I mean? I can still do my measurements
You
and that.
rattle off the word accountability, but until you've actually been in coaching where you've got to hit that submit button with honesty, that you just go, fuck.
Yes. So, but then when you've had a good week, I'm like, fuck yeah, this coach is going to be proud of me. You know what I mean? There's that. Because I kind of like being a good person now. I want to do the right thing, which is a total change for me. You know, I get off and being good now.
Yeah.
Like, so I think there's, yeah.
Lots of benefits to a coaching container, but
100%.
I'm always here. And when you're ready, you can come back. I just
Yeah,
love the fact that, the changes, the endometriosis, the energy, the bloating, everything for you. Like you say, the side effect for that is people come in wanting the scale to move and wanting the better body. You didn't. You wanted to come in to feel better. And the
Yeah.
side effect has been the body. But everyone needs to look at that. Look at the health, the lifestyle, the foundations, and just do that every day. And if you do that every day and you focus on that, you can't but have the body and the health and the results that you want, because that's what gets you there. You got to focus on the right thing, and you had the right focus from the moment you stepped into this with me.
And I just think it was a surprise that it happened so quick, because I was like, oh, well, this is going to, you know what I mean?
I'll give this
Who knows
crack.
how, I'll give this a crack, but I didn't know that my body was going to respond to it so quick. Probably too, that's just age, because you've done everything. I've had the laparoscopies. I've had every bloody, thing done that they can
And
tell
you kind of go, oh, how's this going to help? When you've done all these big things that doctors tell you.
Yeah, done that. So I think I was just, and so now I'm like what you just said, I know that if just keep living like this, I will just get better and better.
Yep. And it does take time. Like, you're on the right path now. I think you've still got a lot of places where you will feel better and better. I think it was about the 18-month mark that I went, yeah, this is it. I really am in a good place. I think one of my ones was chronic thrush as well. I used to have, and I ended up on IV antibiotics because I got stabbed in the foot, blah, blah, blah. And that it was kind of one of those moments where I knew I needed it. If I didn't do the IV, if I didn't do the antibiotics, I was going to end up in hospital. So it was like, right, got to do it. But that fear of having, a thrush breakout again, and I didn't. And that's when I went, this is the moment where I know my body has resilience.
And I'm glad, okay, I'm perimenopause, but I'm 48 in a couple of months. I think I am so glad I wasn't in full-blown menopause trying to fix this. At least menopause maybe might not be so bad.
Yeah, you're cementing those. I don't really have perimenopause issues because I'd done all this work beforehand, and I'm 48 as well. I'll be 49 next April, and I don't have any perimenopause issue. I get hot flushes when I get stressed or something's out of whack. I will get hot flushes, but that's just feedback from my body. It's not, like I don't have the brain fog and the fatigue and the body aches and all these things that are just so overwhelming I can't function. It is just a small symptom that gives me feedback. And I think for you as well, keep going like this. And when menopause is there, you won't feel it.
Yeah. Yeah, because that scares me sometimes, like women come in fanning themselves when I'm doing their hair, and I'm like, oh, mate, that's going to take a lot of time to shift that weight. Like, when you feel like, wow, if I had to move 20, 30 kilos, I mean, whatever, but that to get onto it before that happens, prevent it.
Yep.
I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. Yeah, you've done the right thing, and you've done the work. You're doing awesome. Look, it's been wonderful hearing your story. I know that you've got the right mindset and you've got the right tools. Obviously, would love to have you back someday, but I think your story is amazing at like in just 6 short months, how much progress you've made in your health, your energy, and your physique as well. That part's really starting to follow now. And I will do a post. There'll be a post out with this as well, and you'll be able to visually see Lisa's results as well, which has been awesome. So thank you for sharing your story. I hope this hits home for one of you out there that are listening and maybe have similar issues. I know a lot of people have come to me, and just like Lisa did with, I have this too. And, it's worked for Lisa. So maybe that resonates with some of you out there. And if you have any big takeaways from this, please feel free to screenshot and share on Instagram, tagging me at strengthtraining.nutritionist. And I will catch you in the next episode.